Hello and welcome back to the Mayor's Update. We are live at Caps Off Brewing Company with Mayor Joe Preston.
Right. And you think we pick Caps Off maybe a little too often, but it's right next door to City Hall, so I can actually finish my work day and come over here and do Mayor's Update.
Well, that's a good point. We'd be happy to go anywhere else. If you give us an invite to drop in and do a Mayor's Update broadcast, let us know.
A space you want us to broadcast from, we're more than happy. And to take you on as a sponsor also would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the things we try to do in this community is promote local businesses, local events, and what's happening in St. Thomas. This is an open forum, and we want your help.
Absolutely. And we have a Patreon account, which we've mentioned before.
Yes.
If you're a community member, you like the coverage, you like the photography, the videos that I take, and then archive and then share.
Right.
Jump on the Patreon. It starts at $1.50 a month, which I don't think you can get any media for a better price than that.
I know I can't, and I'm also, my business is a sponsor.
Yes.
But I also believe in local and what we're trying to do and to get the message of St. Thomas out. Graydon, you and I did a all candidates meeting last night. Kinsman did a fantastic job. But it was brought up at least by 5 or 6 other candidates last night. Well, we need something where we're talking to St. Thomas at least weekly about what's going on in St. Thomas. Hello.
We've got a show here. We've been doing it for almost 4 years. It's called the Mayor's Update.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is change the format, modify the format a little bit once council gets elected, and have a Mayor's Update. And then once a month, and this is suggested by Tara McCulley, who's one of the people that's running for council, to do an all candidates or all councilors.
All council. So we can say, what do you think about that vote? What do you think about moving that subdivision that way, or paving that road? I'd love to have all of council. You know what? They do beg to come on. We've had a number of councilors on Mayor's Update on specific issues and ones they're good at. But so we need to continue to do that. But I look at the more we can be, the more open forum-ish, if that's a word, we can be, that we've been trying to do as Mayor's Update. And it's funny, people running for council in St. Thomas went, you have Mayor's Update?
Which I was surprised about, to be honest. A little surprised.
Well, and my comedy background said, let's make a little fun of the folks that haven't been paying attention for the last 4 years. So we did. Right? Look, I haven't found a bad candidate here yet.
They're all amazing.
Right? Yeah. And we had some fun last night and some good people from the public sharing conversation with us. But I know because you were there doing with Extreme Media, streaming the whole event, we reached thousands.
Yeah, we're already over 1,000. Yeah.
Right. Incredible. And so let's use Mayor's Update for its full purpose in saying that too. Look, I know we're in an election, but we are today not yet 4 weeks from election day. Every federal election and provincial election is about 4 weeks long. So let's truly say that today is the start of that conversation in St. Thomas. Let's ask everybody we can. Please, if you've got questions about who we are and what we're doing, this is a great place for us to talk about it on Mayor's Update. But we need you to know. We need you to have the vote in your mind as to who's going to do the right things in our community. And it's your choice. That's the democracy we live in.
And what I like about it is when you talk to the candidates before they get elected, then you can hold them accountable for what they promised.
Right.
If you never talk to them, they get elected.
Right.
Then a candidate can do anything they want. And you can say, well, I didn't want that to happen. It's like, well, you never had that discussion with me, and there was never this thing.
And thank you, Margaret, for joining us. And we know you're there. And we need to be able to say, and we said we were going to do this, and so we did, whether it was last time we talked about improving the transit system in the city of St. Thomas. Whoa, it doesn't run on Sundays, and it doesn't run past 6:30 at night. Well, now it does, because this council said we were going to do it.
And you worked together, and you got it done.
Right, and that is it. We often think that there's some special powers the mayor has, or he thinks he has special powers.
Right.
But there is 9 members of council, including a mayor,
and you have one vote out of 9.
And so you're right. My special powers are bringing forward to those other 8 people my thoughts about why this is a good idea. Good idea. What a good decision it could be. But No, I'm okay. If I lose, we lose a vote, but then the other 8 thought of a better way of doing it. What a great way to go. That's what democracy does. I told the story because I sat there last night after the event and talking to Heather Jackson, one of my opponents in this race. And we were having to, catching up on what's going on since her last election and what we're doing. And somebody came up and said, you two know your opponents, eh? I said, of course we do, but it doesn't mean it's an axe fight. It means that we're good competitors and we love each other and we care about how each other feels. And both of us have said out loud, it's not if I have to say something bad about somebody to be elected, I don't want to be.
Well, that's not the kind of community you want to be in, right?
Well, who do you want to represent you? Somebody who's absolutely out to the fight to the death?
Yeah,
I suppose on some issues, but mostly it's about bringing your friends with you and bringing 8 councillors to do the job. So, look, I'm going to have fun with the rest of this 4 weeks. Being the mayor of St. Thomas has been a fun job with me, and I'm really going to push to win it. I mean,
that's what you're all pushing to win it. That is the goal of an election.
Right. So
you want to fight to win. Fran, Adam Montgomery says hi. He saw you waving in the background.
Oh. Fran has friends. I like
many friends. I think Fran probably has more friends because of Caps Off than almost anybody else in the city, to be fair.
When the mayor looks like this, he's trying to read because his glasses are new. No, it's great. We've had a couple of great shows in the last 2 weeks, right, where we've had a lot of good commentary and good comment. And we don't want to truly turn them into election shows. We want to turn them into questions about St. Thomas and St. Thomas moving forward. So please, we're here to answer your question. But I think I started off by saying to Graydon, it was amazing how some people who are fairly prominent in St. Thomas last night said, well, how do we get the news out to people? And this is it, folks. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. This is great. This is how it works, right?
And it's direct communication.
Yeah.
And
And look, at many of the counselors that were out last night, we've had on the show, whether it's Steve Peters or Jeff Kohler or others, and Sean Denier, who was out last night, and others, and there's many others like Rose Gibson, a fantastic follower of our show. So,
and also a huge community supporter.
Right.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked out the recording yet of the election campaign chat that we had with the Kinsman held that we recorded, go to the Established Media page, go to the videos tab, and you can watch it there.
Yeah.
So rewatch it and find out who you're voting for and what they stand for.
Right. It was about an hour and a half of different. We have 16 candidates for alderman or for councillor and 3 mayor candidates. And look, you'll learn a lot about what people's views are by watching the whole thing or take it in pieces and watch. And I ran into somebody today said, I haven't yet got to the mayor's part. I watched all the councillors, and then I'm going to watch the mayor's tonight. Yeah. Oh, get your popcorn ready, folks. Go for it.
Riveting municipal politics, as you can always expect, here on the Mayor's Update. All right. So what else is happening in the city? You guys, have you had a council meeting?
Council meeting on Monday. Again, a lot of it's the comeback from summer, but also the prelude to when we get to a new council.
Yep.
And so Joan Reimel and Mark Bridges aren't running again. So 2 members of council. We have a little fun with them. I'm sorry, I can't recognize Councillor Reimel. She's not running again. No, we have some fun, but we did some unique things. We passed the CIP acceptance of the new building at First and Talbot. In the First and Talbot setup. Now, we have ability as a council to use our community improvement fund, that's CIP. We have our ability to use community improvement funds to attract large developments, large apartment buildings, and we know we need to do that. So, in exchange for 4 affordable units in that building, and the fact that they're going to build on that site, put in some underground parking, prepare for another building.
And by affordable, you mean affordable housing units?
Well, 4 affordable housing units, and we're kind of set the standard. If we're going to help you build your buildings, what will we get in return? That's part of it. So we will demand a certain number of affordable units in each build from a market rent apartment building, but we also use our community improvement plan to help them defer some of their taxes over a 5-year period so that they can upfront build they're very expensive buildings to build, and then their taxes click in after. And some of our development charges, the development charges we charge households and apartments in our community, is the hooking up to our system, the wastewater, the water, the electricity. And so because an apartment building, although it's got a lot of apartments in it, the hookups to it are pretty similar to a single family home, right? Okay, here's your water, here's your sewer, right? So we know we can play with reduction of development charges in that case, and that's what we've done in the case of the Elma Estates building, and now the building at First and Talbot. Hello, apartment builder owners. St. Thomas is open for business, and we want you here. We have made a promise to build 500 housing units a year for the next 5 years.
Let's explain that a little bit, because at 500 housing units, doesn't represent like 500 houses.
Nope, it's 500 housing units. Some of them are single family homes, and our builders do that naturally. We approve subdivisions and other things, and over the last 3 or 4 years, that's been an average of 350 to 400 homes, single family homes. We need to continue doing that. That's exactly, but we also need large apartment buildings. And if we built one apartment building like whether it's Elma Estates or the one we're building at First and Talbot of about 165 units, okay, we just added that to the 350. We're at our 500 units. But the other things that the city of St. Thomas have been working on is also our supportive housing that we build, right? Or we have builders come and build for us, whether it's for home housing for homelessness, our supportive housing with indwell, or our shelter, or the accessible lots, the accessory lots. We're now allowing about every house in St. Thomas. You want an apartment in your basement? Come talk to us. We'll help you do it. You want a granny flat as part of your home, or you want another apartment that's perhaps your garage, right? We think with the amount of houses, full family homes we have in our community that are now down to just maybe a senior couple living in them or a couple living in them, we can create another rental unit. Now we're talking about affordability here, because somebody's renting in a basement apartment in a home. I don't know, $800 a month versus the $2,000 a month in one of our market rent apartments. Please talk to us. We have the ability to add all these units, and I'm guaranteeing as the mayor 500 units a year
and that's a minimum
for the next 4 years. My 500 units a year minimum for the next 4 years, as a way to attract the new 1,000 people to St. Thomas we're talking about. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to be upset if it's 700. I'm certainly not going to. It's exactly what we need to do to be able to provide the housing we need to prevent homelessness, to meet affordability, and to get people the homes they want. You're looking for a single family home that's a large lot in a subdivision, we have those. Market rent apartments, we have those. Accessory units, apartments, or garage apartments in your house, we have those. And supportive housing will continue to build.
Very good. Thanks for bringing that up to attention. Yeah. I know, it's just like you think 500 units and like, okay, like, is that houses, or like how many people does that house and all that? And I know that was one of the questions that was coming up last night.
Right.
A little bit.
Well, Adams asked, what's the one thing I'd like to have happen in the next year? I'd like the growth to continue, because as I explained a bit last night, if we can continue to grow at this rate in St. Thomas, we can afford to do the things I just mentioned, because we've got, it's our builders' responsibility to build houses and to build apartment buildings. But the city has some expense in building things like supportive housing or shelter or attracting more businesses. So
Mm-hmm.
we're looking. Look, the growth in St. Thomas has to carry on with this, and we're really doing a pretty good job of it.
Absolutely, which is it's exciting to see it and to know about it, and then hopefully that will continue on for the next
Right.
term of council.
Well, and truly, growth has to pay for the growth.
Mm-hmm.
The new houses, the new taxes that we collect on the new homes and the new apartments in our community goes forever to pay for the new parks, the new sidewalks, that's how cities function. And if we're going to grow and people are wanting to come to St. Thomas, so we can't tell them not to. So when they do, we need to create the ability for them to move to St. Thomas in a smart way. And we need to, and we'll be richer because of it, because we'll be able to do better things, whether it's parks or crosswalks or whatever it might be.
In terms of the visitors, there was a question on here about the hotel. So when visitors come and they want a hotel to stay in, we've got one that's being built out by the Elgin Center. Do you know when that is planned to be completed?
At the Elgin Center, I honestly thought Christmas was kind of its, but I'll have to check. It's at least now within the next 6 months, right? And I think you and I have talked about this on here, and we'll answer the questions of our guests, but one will get us more. Holiday Inn Express was the first. They've said they want to do this. The Elgin Center got them to come, but there's been this kind of barrier in attracting hotel units because London is right around the corner and not that far. But when one comes, then the rest start to go, well, we better be in St. Thomas, or Holiday Inn Express is going to take all of our business. Fantastic. We think we have room for all of them, from a hockey tournament, wedding, whatever you can call it, point of view. I think the Elgin Centers, we thank them for what they've done to set forward on this, right?
Yeah. And I can say from having my wedding, there is not a lot of accommodation in this area locally, unless you go to London. But like if I'm having a wedding that's down by the lake,
I don't want them to go to London and eat there and buy there and shop there. I'm the mayor of St. Thomas. Let's let them come to St. Thomas and do all of those things in St. Thomas, specifically in downtown.
Sean Denier is saying, hi guys, great, and I'm rubbing off on you with the black ball cap. Maybe, I mean, this is my kind of like style. Anyone who went to high school with me, all black all the time, long hair, craziness.
I used to look a little different too, but I hey Sean, you clean up good. He wore a suit and tie last night.
He sure did.
Sharp last night.
Very sharp.
And I went, wow, this guy sounds like Sean Denier. Oh wait, it is him. No, he looked good. He did a lot of great, shared a lot of great things last night too. So.
And I'm Montgomery saying, sounds like Pinafore Park will be quite the place to be next year. That concession booth is going to offer entertainment. Love the fact you opened it up for events.
Well, we were I was at an event today for United Way at our market. It was nothing but food trucks.
Yeah.
Also, and so it's fun to see the food truck operators smiling and doing great business in St. Thomas and being where they want to be on any given night. So, Adam, thank you for saying that. Our parks can also have great concessions in our parks too. And
are you allowed to talk about who was approved as the concession manager yet for the parks?
No, cannot. Right. But look, that's about 2 pay grades below the mayor. But what I want to do is make it happen. We've gone through a drought over the last couple of years of COVID and how hard it was to get people out. We're rocking this weekend with Harvest Fest at the park. The mayor expects to be there a fair bit. And we really thank the use of Pinafore Park. It's something that this community's not done well over the last little while. Certainly we had COVID, but before that, we even turned down events in the park. We got to say Pinafore is our place. Pinafore is our place to meet. And I agree, One Password's a fantastic athletic facility, so let's do that too. So
Hi Julian, how's it going?
Hi,
I haven't
Julian.
seen you like with COVID, with all the events getting shut down, but I was just looking at my archives. I've been going through my archives, backing up footage, all this stuff, photos.
Right.
And I saw all you guys at Canada Day in 2019, and Julian was there. You were there. All of the council was there, cutting up cake, handing it out to everybody at the pavilion in Pinafore. It was an amazing day.
Right.
Yes.
Let's go back to using Pinafore to that. And I didn't say we got away from it, but I want to accelerate we have a place in St. Thomas. And truly, Waterworks too. I mean, I'd like to see us even put some festivals over there. I mean, what else can happen, right? Let's do it the best we can. Let's continue to use the top-notch facilities we have in St. Thomas, and let our local businesses, including our food trucks and ice cream truck, be out there and do that business. We don't need a city concession when, in fact, we can have a local business doing the job.
Totally. And the Harvest Festival that's coming up, you just mentioned it.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard about it, it's going on in Pinafore Park. It's happening tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It is full. The park will be full.
Right.
So you need to go out and check it out. It's free to go out and about, but you have to pay to see the musical acts.
Yeah, there's a fenced-in area that has to do with. Look, we've got some fantastic music coming to St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And I understand if you're running that festival, you've got to find a way to pay for those musicians because they're not free.
Artists need to get paid.
Oh, all artists need to be paid. And so this is the right thing for us to do. Attract the crowd, and please make it a crowd this weekend. Thank you. Get out there and do it. And these are the types of things we saw it with the Railway City Arts and Music Festival and packed.
It was
Let's
incredible.
do it again with this one.
Yeah.
Let's continue. And I think we have the Rail City races this Sunday too. Look, lots of events going on in our community, but if we don't support them, they won't be there next year. And we need them to be there for that too. So.
Yep. So Adam's saying, One Password Park is massive and used greatly. I wish Athletic Park and Cohen Park had the same feel to it and used like One Password Park.
I'm not certain. We've had some, Adam, I agree with you 100%. And except I'm not sure we need them as athletic facilities anymore. But that nice Valley Park of Athletic
beautiful.
and Cohen,
Got a train trestle in the background.
Can be turned into a Waterworks-ish kind of park too. We've got lots to look at. Councillor Wookie, and I thank Steve Wookie. Councillor Wookie has been pushing for us to take a look at what we're building in the northwest part of St. Thomas and design the parks first.
Yep.
We already have Waterworks and Pinafore, along with One Password from athletic point of view. So what could we do with Cowan and Athletic Park that is kind of a little of both? What can we do in the northwest to design those parks along the ravines that are there? There's a fairly good number of creek. I said creek. I must be from Elgin County, but as part of Kettle Creek. Ravines, and I think we can design a great set of trailways and parks there too. Look, the future is bright for what St. Thomas can do if we grasp the growth we currently have, and let's talk about the great things we can do. Have we got things we can fix? Absolutely. There's something the mayor could do every minute of the day. I should read you some of today about green bin complaints. Yeah, okay, I get it. But we're the first community with green bins in this country.
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
Guelph had them, and I think they might have got rid of them.
Okay, so then we're the longest group with green bins. I'll go along as the mayor of St. Thomas to say the old Green Lane company started the kitchen recycling piece at your doorstep. So look at lots of great things.
And I could be wrong, so maybe I shouldn't correct you out of fear.
Well, okay, but you can correct me because I allow, and not very many people are allowed to, so you're okay.
But we should say there's the Water Tower bicycling group, and they're actually meeting at Caps Off right now over there. Yeah. So that's another great thing that's coming as an athletic perspective.
They're just going downhill.
Or uphill. It seems like they're struggling.
Well, you're right. It's a whole mountain bike kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah. What another neat concept, right? For and not everybody has to do all things. We have an incredible community in our city that is all about disc golf, right? I was always a frisbee guy.
My goodness.
But right, and now with the bike groups, right, on the trails, you don't have to do all of these things. Please don't rush out tomorrow, right?
And we have some of the top disc golfers in the world right here in St. Thomas. Martin Hendel, and for women, his sister Sandy Hendel.
Right.
They're just phenomenal. and they're right here, hidden talents.
Right. So
very
I didn't
humble
mean to
though.
interrupt what we're saying about the water tower bike group, because let's add one more thing that St. Thomas can be known for and how great it is. So yeah,
totally. Wish there was a way apartment buildings could recycle. Can apartment buildings recycle right now?
We are slowly getting to the point where not household waste, but many of the apartment buildings are working on great way to be able to recycle plastic, glass, and cardboard. And I know ours, we can go down and sort that into different bins, and different trucks come to pick them up. But you're right, the kitchen recycling is a lot tougher in an apartment building.
Yep. And Adam Montgomery's saying, too bad we couldn't make more trails, but that's actually part of your plan.
Part of our strategic plan, part of the plan this council has been working on is adding 3 more kilometers of trail in the next couple of years. 3 kilometers is a lot of trail, but when you stop to think, where do we need to connect from? And Steve Wilkie and I looked kind of at a map the other day, or more than a month ago, I think, and said, where are we missing? Where we could connect? Well, what we want to do is be prepared as St. Thomas grows to the northwest. First thing, how do we connect the trail so people don't have to use Sunset Drive in Wellington as means of travel? I know you rode your bike the other day.
I've been trying to bike more and getting more, in shape, because
you and I met in downtown St. Thomas, and you had your bike, and I'm worried about you driving home. Right? Now, the more we can put trails in, the better off we are to connect, so that there's less, so that families can go out together and use the trails. So
I love it. Like if like Jess and Lily and I can all go biking on the trails, that'd be incredible. Adam Montgomery's saying, you guys enjoy Caps Off. What's your favorite thing about it? Local pieces give that at-home feel. You know what? First off and foremost is the beer and the quality of the brewing.
Real good quality product here.
Rick and Fran produce.
And not that I'm, a beer aficionado, but I really do like certain beers. And so I drink stout here because finding a good stout is hard to do. But it's much, it's almost like Joe walks in here and it's Norm.
It's the community aspect.
There is some element of that, but it's right out the back door at City Hall. And I realized the other day, after I came over here from City Hall, late in the afternoon, somebody said to Sandra, Joe's over at Caps Off. Yeah, it's where he goes. It's what he needs to do. And our city runs better when the mayor gets the Caps Off every once in a while.
Yeah.
And so we love coming here for Mayor's Update. Right? What's your favorite part? I mean,
number one is, actually, number one and number two. It's like, okay, first off, the beer is amazing. And also, equally as important, like Rick and Fran are incredible.
Right.
They're just incredible people. They're big supporters of the community, and they have that, that cheers feel, which we've all joked about for several years now. Where you just come in, everybody, their names. And even if you don't, you can get to know them by the end of the night, which is just phenomenal.
Right.
And so another part of that, and the third part is like when I would go to New York and do filming or whatever, all the bars and all the little places were just like this, where there's a garage door. You lift up the garage door and you come in, whether it's a coffee house or like a brew pub or whatever it is in Brooklyn. Like that's where you go, and art shows, the same thing. So like when that opened up in St. Thomas, I was at home, but I was also at home.
Right. Well, and there's only 2 or 3 tables inside.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes, my friends are at that table, but I'm going over here because there's an empty chair. And I meet a whole new group of people who are from, whether out of town, and we meet a lot of people who come just on the craft beer tour kind of thing.
Totally.
Come see Rick and Friends establishment, but it's also, wait, where are you from? Oh, you're the mayor? Okay.
I know.
Tell us about St. Thomas. Yeah, so I start the tour thing.
That's always the funniest, is when people meet Joe here.
But I walked in today and Councillor Peters was here.
Peters
was here, and when he and I could cover off 2 or 3 things in the 5 minutes between me coming, him leaving.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also where we can get some business done. So it's great. Sean says, talking about being humble or no, it's more about being yourself. We're just going to move forward and be who we are and get it done. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get her done. That's a good slogan for St. Thomas in general.
Oh, yes.
Just get her done town,
Well, yes, we did invite Sean over here, and he went.
Yeah, and this is his first time
here. This is a place for beer,
which I was surprised about.
Work.
He seems like a guy that would find, his home here as well.
Right.
And there's art in the wall.
there is art on the wall all the time. Now, some of it's yours. This is not. But
No,
this is
it's beautiful.
There's some neat pictures on the wall if you wanted to own a lemon.
Oh.
Look,
You got to have a heart, though, if you're going to be an artist.
no, there's a heart and a brain. So I guess I could.
It's
pick
really a
one up.
jumbo attraction if you really come down to it.
Yeah, it's
I really
perfect.
take my caps off to the artists here.
Okay. I told you my tree joke. I'm not doing it again. No.
Sorry,
Yesterday
guys. Sorry,
was
guys.
Tree Day, and I was at the St. Thomas Christian Academy to help with the Gearlinks, who for the last number of years, I want to say 8 or 9, has done tree planting at different places around town, different schools around town. But the back playground at the Christian Academy is not shaded, so planted 3 or 4 pretty good sized trees to get started with the grade 4s and grade 5s. I think yesterday from the school, and so it was National Tree Day, and so let's get the mayor out. It was perfect. We had a lot of fun, and now that playground is going to be, if it isn't already, they're not small trees now, well shaded. Adding some, and somebody in 4 or 5 years of those children being in that school can go, remember the day we planted those? Remember what that looks like? And there's a whole lot about, if Canada could plant a lot more trees, we'd all be a better place. So let's and we gave everybody, every child we didn't, Gearlinks did, a take-home tree to plant at home also, but planted some very nice trees in the school lot yesterday. These are some of the neat things the mayor gets to do. Yesterday was a very busy day, running from one thing to the next right?
It was
Tree
packed.
Day was important. Tree Day was a lot of fun.
Well, my nephew Will saw you there, and he was like, I think that's the mayor.
Right.
And then he told my wife, Jess,
Right.
and she let me know to say hi to you today.
Okay.
On Mayor's Update.
Well, I tried to talk and say hi to all the kids, but I'm he's the mayor. Don't talk to him. No, it was a lot of fun, right? And I've been at the school before, and what a great group of teachers and and the principal there. We really have a lot of fun. So, what else was yesterday and today? Well, we talked about Harvest Lunch for United Way today.
Yep.
I'm wearing red because United Way colors. We went to Harvest Lunch at the market. What another facility in St. Thomas that is underused, but such a great place. So we used the canopies at the market where vendors would normally sit up to sit today, and we had like 5 or 6 food trucks there, feeding our lunch, and so perfect. Got to work the room, if you can call the outside of the market a room, and go out and say hi to all our friends. So, perfect.
All right, I'm going to pop up the trivia now.
Oh yes.
I'm not putting the answers on with the questions this time around. So,
one is about fresh water.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we should also talk about Lake Erie's turnover.
We should. Isn't that a perfect segue?
All right. What a great segue. So there's your trivia today. Please get your questions, your answers into trivia. But in the meantime, we also had a bit of a conversation today from the engineering department of St. Thomas. Every year in the fall, especially after a hot summer, St. Thomas Lake Erie kind of transverses itself. The lower end comes to the top, and there's less oxygen in the water. So some of the water we're pumping into the water pumping station right now may have a bit of discolor to it, may have a bit of odor to it. We will treat it properly. It's perfectly safe, but because we live next to a very large but shallow lake, this happens sometimes in the fall. The algae dies off. It takes on a bit of an odor and a taste, perhaps, but we will. It is perfectly safe, and we'll continue to chlorinate properly. And we just wanted to warn everybody today that this is the time of year when that happens.
And so when it pops up on St. Thomas happenings, if people have their water and it's a little bit discolored, then you can answer for the mayor and let people know That is a natural phenomenon.
Right. You don't know. Please share with others because, the mayor can't get to all 45,000 homes.
If you're concerned about it, you can also install a reverse osmosis water system from Simply Pure, like I have at home now.
Right.
And then you'll never see it even if it happens.
You won't know this happened because all the water you're using is just to flush. Right. So it's perfect. Right. But, we have great businesses in our community that help us with all of this. And you're right. We live in the middle of the Great Lakes, but we might as well use the best products there are.
Absolutely. And Sharon Montgomery Anderson has got the answer. 20% of the fresh water in the world is located in Canada. So, wow. Sharon, pop you into the trivia here. Now, Sharon has 2 art prints she's already won from previous trivias.
Right.
But I still have to drop them off at.
Oh no, we're good for it.
Oh no, we've got it covered. But I'm going to drop them off at the Why Not Cafe for Sharon in a little bit, probably next week, and I'll fire you a message, Sharon.
Perfect.
So I'm going to add her to the list here on my little ticker, and. Yep, Sean's saying Lake Erie is the most shallow of the Great Lakes, which is absolutely true.
And we don't mean it doesn't have much to say. We mean that it's the depth of Lake Erie that's what we're talking about. It's not all that shallow. It's not like.
All right, and I'm going to pull up the next. And these trivia questions are from the Friends of the Library, the St. Thomas Library.
Oh, excellent.
They're a wonderful group of people. We get our trivia questions from them and Councillor Steve Peters. Those are our 2 people that provide our trivia questions for each of our episodes here on the Mayor's Update. Okay. And you'll see it pop up on the ticker. This piece of hardware is only used in Canada. What is it?
Oh, I think I know. I shouldn't guess though, right?
No. That was me last.
That would be bad.
Last time.
That was like, you and I giving the answers.
Yeah.
Okay, now who can type it in faster? Right? Yeah.
All right. And Mark Midnight, but without the Lake Erie change in color smell, I wouldn't know what time of year it is. She's used to it. That's a great point. It lets her know what time of year it is as it changes.
It's always fall when this inversion takes place. And not every fall, but certainly after hot summers. And so this is the one. We need to just watch for it. But our water treatment plants, not only ours by Port Stanley, but all along the North Shore, communicate with each other and say, okay, I've started to see it. You add this, do this. So perfect. This is Canada where we work together with our neighbors.
Which is super handy. What else for council? Any other little tidbits that was happening?
I can't think of anything that was super. There was a lot of our normal building stuff and the growth stuff. There was a very long report. I did challenge our engineer Justin Lawrence to read the report out loud because it was 100 and some pages.
I love those ones when I'm going through the minutes and trying to catch up on all this stuff.
Well, I have to sign every page in minutes, and so I asked him, but it was about the wastewater treatment and the rates for wastewater attached to your water bill, and how much we have to add in order to be able to cover the costs of the pipes and the separation of sewer and stormwater and stuff that we're doing as a community. And so, although it seems pretty dry, it is very important to us as we grow as a city to be able to finish some of the older neighborhoods from a wastewater point of view and the cost that will be added to your water bills. So that was a very large part because it was a very large report.
That's perfect. And then Margaret saying she's waiting for her gift in painting as well, which is true. Now I have the gift certificate from Mayor Joe, so I just have to drop that off for you, Margaret. So we've got to set up a time for dropping that off along with our print. And
I think that's what I would have said. The Robertson screw, the square-headed screw that won't slip when you're building furniture for the most part.
It's so good. It's the best screwdriver in the world.
And you talk to someone in the States and they have no idea what a Robertson screw is, or the green handle or black handle or red handled Robertson screwdriver.
And they just dealt with these horrible screwdrivers their whole lives because he wouldn't sell the patent.
No.
because I think Ford Motors wanted it for like a very cheap
Well,
amount.
by all means.
And
He
Roberts
wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And he said this is, and it's a Canadian invention. It stayed that way. But I mean, you try to put something into a piece of hardwood with a flat screwdriver. It takes a lot of work. But a Robertson screwdriver, drill it right through.
Well, the flat one, they call that the Joseph after Jesus' father, I believe, because there was a lot of swearing that was involved.
No. God help me. I have to put this lumber together. Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah. So the Robertson screw, excellent. And that is, Carol. Good.
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Is the mayor blind? Because he has to keep leaning forward to read the names on the screen tonight.
And Steve Peters, Councillor Steve Peters, has just said, what year did our sewage plant open?
Oh.
So I think
it's been open all along because water flows through it. No.
So anybody who answers that one, we'll throw
one.
that in there.
We'll throw your name in. What year did our wastewater treatment plant on Sunset Drive open? That's right. And boy, it still has capacity. We still can grow more out of that one plant. We're adding to it. And we're doing some odor control on it, which is to many of the people in the neighborhood quite a thankful piece that we're doing. But we finally had the Environment Minister of Ontario say, please go ahead with the work you want to do. So thank you, Councillor Peters, for adding that too.
Janet Walker Robinson says, I believe in the Robertson screwdriver.
Yes,
100%.
It was sent from heaven.
Sean Neer is saying, I'm curious, but you don't have to answer on here. The West End condemned building that has been an issue, who is liable if the building next door, the building comes down with it?
Excellent. So we noticed today we've had a demolition permit on the building that used to be the Municipal World building next to basically Grand Central.
I got a heads up and I was going to go take photos today, but it wasn't coming down.
No, it's the fence is now there for the demolition to start. The demolition permit is in place. The stabilization of the building that is attached to it but not part of it is all coming down, and the owner of that property is who will now, and I've seen some preliminary plans, but they're not yet through planning yet, for a fair number of housing units and a main floor business concept on that building. Now, I've been in St. Thomas since 1990, and that building has been empty since then. Can I take credit as the mayor, as being the mayor, that finally got that building torn down and let's build something else on it? It hasn't taken 32 years, but I'll tell you what, it's taken a whole lot of the mayor since 2018, 2019 to say, why is this building still standing? And a number of issues on the back of it. So thank you for the question.
All right. And Councillor Steve Peters is going to have to let you know whether or not you're correct, because I don't know the answer to this.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Steve, help us. When someone tells us a date, if they're correct, tell us that they are correct.
Tell us no or yes.
Yeah.
If they're all not correct, let us know that they're all not correct right now.
Right. Well, and Sean says, what a great thing if that building finally does come down and new building happens on that site. Yes, for two reasons. It will be more housing in downtown St. Thomas that is dreadfully needed, but that's an eyesore and a condemned building that really needs salvage. There's a couple more downtown I'm fighting for. Well, what was the Whoopie Bowl for a while, but what was the name of the bar?
That I thought they were renovating that.
Well,
has it stopped
there is
now?
Plywood all in front of it.
Yeah.
And the mayor's grown a little frustrated that we stopped with the plywood. Is there people inside working? Because I want to know. Right? Because we need this to work. Right?
Yeah. No,
so,
100%.
Yeah. So we'll continue to look for what's best on downtown, and new businesses and new buildings coming. So.
All right. Well, we're looking to wrap up here. I'm going to give you guys another couple minutes to come through with these answers to the last trivia question. What year did our sewage plant open? And then we're going to wrap up. Bill Vanderhayden's asking, when will Applewood Crescent construction wrap up?
Is it if it's ongoing right now? Everything ends before fall. Right? Caps off coasters. Excellent.
As a gift for the okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So this is being added to the prize pack.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like it.
There's only one winner at the end of the month. So Fran has just donated these.
This will prevent you from staining your table.
This is
incredible.
This is artwork from Denny Gauthier.
At home. Where?
Absolutely fantastic
Where's
artwork.
your coaster, you fool? No. Right. Right.
So we've
I
got
wanted some that kind of moved around the table more freely.
kind of like the
I wanted to call
Roomba,
them
but
roller
for
coasters. Sorry. So all the humor I have today just to be here. Steve, are you saying 1909?
or 1990. $1925. They're coming in. We're about to wrap up here. The ticker is going down.
We've had a full night of Mayor's Update, and after last night's all candidate, we need to move along. Right? Don't talk like this. I do it professionally. Don't you try it at home? It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, thank you to all of our viewers.
A lot of fun here.
Yeah,
people here at Caps Off, and I'd like to stop and finish this stout that I'm having. Yeah, Steve Peters says 1909 was the right answer.
1909
for the 1909. We had a wastewater plant.
That's pretty advanced.
Wow.
Yeah. Progressive by nature.
Wow, are we good? We bad, right? Yeah.
We know how to take care of our shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we know it flows downhill into anyway. Unless you're in the mayor's office, it seems to flow up. Yeah.
All right.
Did I just say that on Mayor's Update? I apologize to all the viewers, except for those that called me today with really.
All right. Well, thanks again to all of our sponsors and all of our viewers and everybody out there that supports us, because you are amazing.
Right.
Couldn't do this without you.
Thank you very much. Couldn't do it without you. Wouldn't be worth it doing it without you. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.